Welcome, Squires. Today we're checking out my top 5 battles for Mount Blade Bannerlord. Over the years, I've witnessed some of the most intense clashes between two armies that the gaming world has ever seen. I wanted to reflect on the last few years and gather up the best moments from my channel, package them up just for you. So this first battle is from the weekly BRE event as the Bretonnians attempt to dislodge the coalition from their fortified positions. I love this one. There's so much strategy involved and some great cavalry charges. Let's check it out. We've fast forwarded to the next day and the Bretonnian cavalry are out in force. They're scouting the coalition positions. And not a moment too soon, the coalition can be seen moving reinforcements into position on the hilltop. Their center is being formed by Coronis Ibiricus, Almagavers and the Ome Guard. They spot the Bretonnian cavalry and ward them off with archers and cavalry of their own. SVCI have been deployed to the left flank. It's going to be their job to hold down this side. Currently, it's very quiet. Nothing seems to be approaching. In the coalition center, it's exactly the same. Where are the Bretonnians? They're nowhere to be seen. Men have been spotted emerging from the forests behind the coalition positions. What on earth is going on? Various flags are emerging from the tree line and these do not look like coalition allies. The Bretonnians have managed to get behind the coalition forces and are now attacking them from the rear. Fantastic play. This is looking much more hopeful. Unlike before, they've got nothing that can divide their forces. They have a clear path of attack towards the coalition hilltop. It looks like they're going all in on the right flank and playing slightly more defensive on the left. I think the tactic here is for the right to clean up while the left hold off the superior coalition numbers for as long as possible, allowing their allies to sweep in from the side. And the fight is now in full swing. The coalition know time is of the essence, so they are pushing the left side hard. But look in the back lines there, Bretonnian cavalry charging into the rear of the coalition. They're going to be racking up so many kills. And just like clockwork, the Bretonnians charge up the hill, making the most of the chaos. The coalition did not expect this rear attack. However, they do have the advantage with archers on the hill with a nice view down. But they've got to watch out for cavalry like this one here. Fortunately, they get him off his horse just as he comes round the mill. The fight is in full swing. Both teams now are in the killing phase where they just have to rack up as many kills as possible. I do see a heavy presence from the coalition coming round on the left here. Let's hope the Bretonnians are equally successful on the other side. Oh no, that right-hand attack seems to have run out of steam. They just didn't have an answer for those archers. Cassian of Parabon gets knocked off his horse, tries to get the archers, but gets taken out. Well played to the coalition once again. This next battle is another BRE event and takes place in the snowy trenches of Castle Sanglak. The landscape in this one is exceptionally beautiful and there are some great flanking moments to show you. Let's jump in. The battle begins. The coalition currently hold the castle and they spot a Bretonnian army marching towards them. They seem to have the numerical advantage and sally out to meet the Bretonnians head on. Forming the coalition front line is Almagavers. These guys are formidable on the battlefield. To the left we have a number of other clans formed up under their banners, even a couple of turncoat Bretonnian duchies. The coalition need to watch out. Bretonnian cavalry are in the back lines. Fortunately, this coalition clan, Coronis Ibiricus, have their spears out. Perfect for countering horsemen. Both armies are now fully formed up and stare each other down, but who will blink first? It looks like the Bretonnians are the first to charge in on the left flank there. The coalition clans move to counter. If you look closely, you can see this battlefield is littered with trenches. This is going to make movement incredibly difficult. There's activity on the left flank there. It looks like the first clash has begun. The Bretonnians are being held at the choke points. More coalition clans move in to bolster their forces. A couple hang back to form the reserve. A wise tactic as it means you can react to enemy movements. The Order of Santiago here are fighting an uphill battle against the forces of Bretonnia. They have the high ground, but it's nothing that spears can't take out from afar. Moving down the line gives you a sense of scale. There's multiple fights happening in unison up and down the battle line. So far it looks pretty even, but wait, Coronis Ibiricus there have established a beachhead in the name of the coalition. If they can push through the center and get a flank on the enemy, that could turn the tide of battle. SVCI are repelling the Bretonnians on the right flank here. They're doing a great job so far. Oh no, it does look like the Bretonnians have broken through the center. We've got Mouzalon and Castan giving Montfort a run for its money. No matter how hard they try, the coalition just can't stem the flow of Bretonnian infantry. But wait, a coalition counterattack on the flank here is coming in from the sides. Perhaps this is exactly what they need. There's only a handful of them though. Will it be enough? Checking over the other side, it looks like SVCI has crumbled. There's literally no more troops left on that side. Round the back of the coalition, I can see Aquitani getting in the rear, being led by Armand. He's leading a sizable force as they sweep around and clean up what remains of the coalition infantry. The stragglers from the coalition try to maintain a line, but it's no good. The Bretonnians have overwhelming numbers. It's over for them. Fortunately, this was just a skirmish. The main fight is about to come. The Bretonnians celebrate their initial victory, but now they must prepare for the battle ahead. Next, we've got one of my favorite battles from the Wednesday Coronis Ibiricus event. In this one, a completely spontaneous 1 versus 1 duel breaks out between the two armies. It's an absolute spectacle. Let's take a look. It was absolutely the right decision. The full army of the Iberian crowns bring their forces to bear. However, what's this? Tybalt, who's leading the Bretonnians, challenges one of the opponents to a duel. A 1 versus 1 breaks out in the middle of the field. While this won't decide the battle, this is an incredible moment. These two champions fight for honor and glory, but only one of them can take it. Oh, and the blue player, DHMI, wins the day. That was a fantastic victory for the Iberian crowns. That will leave the Bretonnians leaderless for the rest of the battle. However, the delay that duel caused gave the cavalry enough time to get in from the back. That sacrifice was not in vain. Well played. Both teams move their infantry towards the enemy lines. The battle is soon to commence. The lines are ridiculously close. They can see the whites in each other's eyes. And here we go, guys. The Iberian crowns are the first to charge in, going around the edges, trying to take a wide right flank. A smaller engagement has also broken out on the left here as the Kingdom of Hordaland try to get around these buildings, but they are being blocked by the Principality of Toledo. The Yellow Clan, Les Combattants, held some men back, and rightly so. A Rasfadal rebellion group get in behind them and try to get a rear charge in, but they were waiting and ready. The main fight is now well and truly underway. It might look like chaos, however, each clan will be fighting under their respective banners. If you want to see where a clan is, look for their flag. If the Iberian crowns can win this engagement, they might just be able to force the rebellion into full retreat and win the day. For now, things are looking very even. Either side could take the field in this one. The remaining cavalry sweep through the battlefield, picking off isolated soldiers where they can find them. As we zoom out, I can see a number of flags from the Iberian crowns, whose forces have been absolutely decimated. It does look like the rebellion have won on this side. Can the Iberian crowns claw it back with the few men they have on the other side of the river? As the Iberian crowns retreat back to their camp, the rebels are in hot pursuit. They cross the river and charge uphill into the defenses. They're taking out the last few stragglers and now outnumber them 10-1. This is going to be a sure victory if they can just get up this hill and into the midst of the enemy. The rebels take the wooden palisade, which has now created an open path to the Iberian crown camp. The rebels will now attack. Continuing the theme, this is another battle from the same event. It shows off the scale of these battles like no other video on the channel. prepare to witness some of the best top-down views you've seen to date.
Scouts have reported that the Vesmar Dominion are close by, but currently we're unsure exactly where they are. You can see the men from the Order of Santiago in the middle there with their white capes. The men reach the summit, and as they come over the precipice, the full might of the Vesmar Dominion becomes visible. In the distance, an ambush has been set up. The Iberian crowns have just enough time to form up, however, retreat is no longer an option. They're going to be forced to fight the enemy right here. The Iberian crowns and their allies Les Combattants and the Kingdom of Hordaland form the centre. The plan is to form a defensive line and let their allies skirt around the edges for a nice flanking manoeuvre. On the Vesmar Dominion side, the Valandians charge in without their allies. They're too eager for battle and go in without support. That might have been a mistake. The remaining clans, such as the Bretonnian Knights on the left there, are holding fire. They're spotting the enemy to see what movements they make and match them. They can see the Vesmar Dominion still have plenty of troops in reserve, and they charge to counter them. The Vesmar Dominion has now committed all forces to that front line. But what's that in the background? Out of the sunset comes charging the Order of Santiago right into the back of their lines. That was a proper Helm's Deep moment. The Vesmar Dominion forces tried their best to mount a defense, but it's no use. The Order of Santiago just have too much momentum. Despite that epic flank, the numbers are still fairly even. Either team could win it. This fight might look like a mess, but if you look closely, every clan is positioned directly under their banner, fighting in pockets. Each clan does have a commander, and the infantry within will be following their orders. At this stage in the battle, both teams just have to rack up as many kills as they possibly can. For now, let's just enjoy the ambience of the battle. We are now entering the final stages of the battle. This is going to come down to the last team standing. Right now, guys, I cannot call it. Players from both sides are fighting valiantly. Every single hit will count, just like that one that we saw there. What an epic maneuver. That soldier fell off of his horse, immediately got back to his feet and took out the enemy captain. That absolutely has to be added to the lore book. There's only about 5 players left on each team now. It's balancing on a nice edge. This has to be one of the most tense battle finishes I've seen so far. The Vesmar Dominion do seem to be getting the upper hand. But wait, what's this? Reinforcements from the Iberian crowns. They charge in, that's just enough to win the day. Well played to both sides.
And finally, we've come to my favourite battle of all time. This one takes place on the narrow streets of Tharg. The Iberian crowns face off against the Rasfadal rebellion. There's some incredible shield wall fighting, and it's so close all the way through. Let's see who comes out on top.
They report that the main enemy force is holed up in the center of town. They know that the Rasfadal rebellion are bringing up reinforcements, and they are building defensive positions to ward them off. As we move in, each clan blocks off a street, an avenue of attack. They also raise the capture point in the name of the Iberian crowns. The attackers, the rebellion, will need to capture that point. Oh, and they are wasting no time at all. The Bretonnians come charging in down the main avenue. They need to watch out though. There's a lot of side streets that will allow the enemy to flank around and get behind them. Fortunately, their allies are right behind them and make sure to plug the gaps. You can see here Blood Diamond from the Iberian crowns are already looking to take advantage, but fortunately, it looks like the Kingdom of Hordaland are keeping this advance at bay. The Kingdom of the Franks are acting as a reserve force. They'll be monitoring the enemy movements and will counter them appropriately. The rebellion are pushing forwards ever so slightly, but they're not quite gaining enough ground yet. Crossbowmen in the back lines are getting pop shots, but it's going to be difficult firing over the head of their allies, especially when the ground is so flat. When we looked earlier, I swear the Iberian Crowns had more men in reserve down here. Where did they go? The Rebellion do seem to have more men in this central line. It's only a matter of time before they break through. Oh, and a massive push from the Iberian Crowns in the back lines there. That must be where their reserves went. Holding back was a good shout by the Kingdom of Franks. They moved all of their men to the back lines in order to ward off the attack. They were on the offensive, but they're very much on the back foot now. The Rebellion are sandwiched between these narrow alleyways as they get attacked on all sides by the Iberian Crowns. I mean, just look here, guys. They have no avenue of escape. They just have to hold out and pray that one of these attacks is successful and they're able to break through. The men from Les Combattants and Blood Diamonds spot that the defenses are weak here and they flood into the gap. The lines are no longer drawn. The enemy are behind the Rebellion now. I think one of the reasons this defense was so successful was due to Coronis Ibericus and the Order of Santiago holding the main line there. Had it crumbled, there's no way their allies could have got in from the back. That was very well played by them. As we zoom out and survey the battlefield, it becomes clear that the Rebellion have been defeated and pushed back once more. This is another victory to the Iberian Crowns. Well played to both teams.
So that was my top 5 multiplayer battles for Bannerlord. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. I've actually got a secret to tell you guys. These battles are open for everyone to join, no matter how experienced you are. If you'd like to get involved, join me and the Kingdom of Hordeland. We participate in a number of events just like the ones you've seen in this video. We'd love to have you involved. Simply click the link in the description below and that'll take you to where you need to be. Thank you for watching, Squires. I'm Fiefdom, and I'll see you on the battlefield soon.